evening. We've talked about solving systems using substitution, graphing, and elimination. I'm going to show you a method that uses your graphing calculator, and hopefully you're able to download one, that emulator we talked about during class today. If not, no big deal. We'll just do this stuff during class, but at least you have the steps down that we need in order to actually use this. Before we get to the beginning of it, let's talk about what the solution will look like. If you look at what's called here our solution screen, is what this is right here. We'll always be concerned about these last two numbers. Okay, this 2 is our x value, and this 3 will be our y value. So our solution to this particular system, whatever it happened to be, would be 2, 3. So that's how we'll find our solution based on what comes up on our calculator, which is important. We don't want to do all this work and then not know what our answer is. So when we get this screen at the end, know that the top is x and the bottom is y for our ordered pair solution. But let's get into the actual steps. So we're considering the system. I'll write it a little bit bigger because I'm sure it's small here. It's 7x minus 12y equals negative 22, and then negative 5x plus 8y equals 14. Typically, this would be one we would think elimination because we don't have any variables with a coefficient of 1. But if we look here, we're going to use the system on the calculator, the matrix function. The first thing we have to do is make sure the variables line up. And what that means is I have the x values here on top of each other. I have the y values here on top of each other. And then I also have my constants lined up together there. So as we go through this, we're going to press the second button, and then x to the negative 1 power. Okay, so our second button is right here, and then our x to the negative 1 button is right there. And I'll go through these steps on the calculator here once we get them down. So we'll have those two steps there. I need to scroll a little bit here. So if you are following along with your calculator, you should see this on your screen right now. Once we get there, you press 2, enter, 3, enter. Once we're there, and then that gets us down to this screen right here. It's a 2 by 3 matrix. We have 2 systems. There's 3 parts to each one. Once you're there, okay, you want to enter the coefficients from the system. Okay, we should see 7, negative 12, negative 22 across the top, negative 5, 8, and 14 across the bottom. Let me go ahead and actually do that. I'll get caught up here with the calculator to where we're at there. Step 5. Come back up top here. So we'll do second, and then x to the negative 1. We'll go to edit. Press enter. We do 2, enter, 3, enter. That gets us our 2 by 3 matrix. At this point, we enter the coefficients. 7, enter. Since it's minus 12, we do negative 12. Make sure you use the negative sign there by the decimal point. Negative 22, negative 5, 8, and 14. Okay, we're there. Okay, that's where you should be if you're following along with your calculator, and that's where we are in our steps here. Once we get there, we hit second, and then mode to quit. So again, we're going to press the second button and then the button right beside it. It says mode or quit. That gets us back to our home screen, and we'll follow along on the calculator here in a second. Once we're there, we now press second and x to the negative 1 again, and it gets us back into our matrix screen. Once we're there, we want to go to the right to select math. If you can see right here, the math form there. And you want to go down and select letter B, RREF, and press enter. I'll do that for you now. We do second and then mode. That quits and gets us back to our home screen. And then we go back into the matrix, second x to the negative 1. This time, though, we need to select math. And it's actually quicker if you go from the bottom up. It's letter B. Going a little slow here. RREF. And press enter. Now we're at step 9, where we will again hit second, x to the negative 1, and then we'll hit enter, enter. That will get us our solution. So our answer to this system is 2, 3. Here's our x, here's our y. I'll show you this example here, how we do this now. So we're at REF, second, x to the negative 1, enter, enter, and our solution comes up on our matrix. 2, 3, it looks just as it does on your paper there. So that's all we have for right now. We'll do some examples, and I think once we get a couple times through this, you'll really get the steps down, the process down. It's a lot at first, but everybody in the past has done very, very well with this, so I expect you guys to do the same thing. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.